remember as a little boy, I always used to get told off that when we had a visitor come in, maybe a woman who had perfume on her, and when they came in, I would say, "Phew, you stink." Hi, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
A while ago, we made a video about the fact that we don't use soap and cleaning products and any of that kind of stuff. And people have asked, well, what do we use? Because we don't use those things. So today we're going to talk about what we use instead of soap and shampoo. For me, I get in the water every day. And when I'm in the water, I always wet my hair and rub my hair. I always rub myself with my hands and make sure that I'm clean. Because when I've been outside in the garden, I get dusty and dirty, and I jump in and I wash the dust and grime off myself. But I don't use any form of soap or shampoo. I haven't used shampoo since the 1980s. And I know that when I initially stopped using shampoo, I felt like my hair wasn't clean, and I would have to shower every day, sometimes twice a day, to not have that itchiness in my head. But because I persisted, because I'm always someone that asks questions and looks and observes and things, and I always wondered, why is it that we as a species with so little hair on us need to use shampoo when there's so many species out there that are covered in hair and fur that don't need any form of soap or shampoo? So for me, that was weird to be thinking that we had to be doing that, which is why I initially stopped, because I was questioning why. And I know people will think, no, you've got to use it, but really, you don't have to. And after a time, your head adjusts to the fact that it's not getting shampoo anymore, and it just normalizes. So I don't get issues with having hair that's too dry or too greasy. And all I'm using is water. And about once a week, I'll get in the bathtub and wash my hair with urine from the day before. Now, I know that sounds pretty gross for some people, because the idea of using your urine in any way, shape or form will be for a lot of people a novel idea and something which is initially going to gross people out, I suppose. But that's what I do. I do that regularly, and contrary to what you might believe, it doesn't make my head stink. If I use urine from the day before, it's pretty odorless, and it does help clean the hair. It throps up a little bit. It feels nice afterwards. My hair feels nice. I don't need to be doing this, but I do this because it feels good. So yeah, that's the routine I have.
Okay. Well, I believe the best skin and hair care comes from our food, raw fresh fruit. So because we put good nutrition and our natural food in our bloodstream, the body is reacting accordingly. One of the first things I noticed when I started eating only raw fresh fruit was my skin. My skin felt suddenly moist. It felt more silky. Even my skin was always good, and people used to compliment me on my skin, which I didn't understand what they see on it. But with fruit, I could not believe how much better my skin, just the feeling of it was. Also, I want to say, a lot of people say this, you get damaged by sun, your skin. It's true that especially now, the sun is more aggressive, it's more burning. And I notice when I'm in the garden, because as I can, I work naked in the garden, and I can see if I spend in the garden on a full sun 2.5 hours, I see the skin already show me I don't like it. But that comes with the age for me too. But I also believe sun is more aggressive. So I'm thinking I may protect myself in the future to put some thin long sleeve garment on me, because I really can see now with the age that sun does some damage. And also, when I was young, I was always on the beach living in Australia almost every day. And I never used any sunscreen or anything. And I know they were always advertising, put your hat on, put your sunscreen on, put your things, this, whatever, the zinc on the nose, where you get sunburn easily. And they putting on the children made of toxic plastic clothes, swimming on a beach, to play on the beach and go in the water with long sleeves. Usually the legs go above the knees. It became big fashion, big brainwash again. And actually, I believe if you wear synthetic fiber on the sun, there you get a lot of toxins in your bloodstream.
Not only that, the sun cream
No,
itself
of course.
is full of toxic chemicals. It does the opposite, because what's happening when you put sunscreen on, and I think we talked about this before, but when you put sunscreen on, it's actually blocking the pores, so it stops elimination. So it's not only it's putting chemicals into your bloodstream, into your body, it's also stopping any toxins from coming out of your body. So it's actually going to cause skin cancer more so than protect you from skin cancer. It does the opposite of what they say.
Yeah, yes, all the synthetic clothes, all the cosmetics, including sunscreen, even other cosmetics, that's what gives you problem with your skin.
Mm.
And if you eat well, you don't really have to take any super extra care. Very rarely we sometimes put things in our hair like fruit, you know, like skins from mango. We just massage it in the hair and then we jump in the water, massage it down in our skin, jump in the water. We very rarely do those things.
Any fruit is okay to rub into the skin, any
Yes.
fruit at all. It's all going to have a cleaning effect. So you can leave it on for half an hour and then jump in the water and wash it off. And by doing that, you're not going to pollute the water at all. If there's any fish in there, they're going to eat whatever comes off your body. If you jump in the water with sunscreen on or with soap on your body or with any other chemicals on, you're going to be polluting the water. So fruit doesn't pollute at all. Fruit is definitely going to clean, and it doesn't leave any bad residues afterwards from it. Feel free to use any fruit at all. Obviously, if it's really sticky like a jackfruit, you wouldn't want to stick it in your hair or something.
Yes.
But pretty much anything else you can think of. Avocado we've used before.
We used avocado once. We even massage it in our hair because we have a fair bit of soft ones.
Yeah.
So we decided to run in our hair with it and skin, and that was fun.
Yeah.
And it's fun. You have fun, you know, doing such a stuff.
Yeah.
It's silly. Like if you have a chocolate fruit, it's really dark, and if you put it on you, it looks really funny. And so you can have an even life as you go.
And clay you can use as well. Any kind of earth, you can rub it in your skin. And contrary to what you might think, the earth isn't dirty, not in the same sense that chemicals and soaps and shampoos and cleaning products are dirty in our opinions, because they're full of toxic stuff. The earth is pretty clean, and you can rub clay all over your body. We've done it many times before. You just like cover yourself in clay and walk around even for half an hour in the sunshine, let it really dry and go crispy, and then jump in the water, and your skin will feel so cleansed after doing that. It's an amazing experience. We would do it more often if we had easier access to clay.
Yes.
But yeah, that's another way you can do is just use the earth.
And also when it's really hot and you put that clay on you, it really cools you down. You feel actually cold.
Yeah.
So that's also very interesting.
Yeah.
Otherwise, with my hair, we both have a very fine hair. And a very similar type, or if not the same type of hair. They're very fine. We don't have many of them. And they're more sensitive to everything. But if you have a clean body inside, you don't have to so much worry about cleaning your outside things. Of course, we wash the skin with the water every day, as Mango said, but just with the water, sometimes in whatever 5-7 days, I use washer and I wash with the washer, massage all my body. I massage all my body with the hands. Otherwise, when I wash my hair, I like to massage my head a few times a day. I like to do this. And that, if you do it for a while, you really feel you are aware, you have a head, you have a brain, it feels really good. It gives you that good blood circulation and it gives you good sensation, and that's what we want. We want to feel good. And all those things enhance the positivity of our being. And so again, if you eat clean food, you don't have to bother much with any extra cleanliness. Your sweat doesn't stink. We only stink when we detoxing, then yes, our breath will stink, our skin will stink, but then we have to rinse ourselves more often through the day. But if we're not detoxing, if we're just eating fruit as we do, we don't have any bad odors or anything like this. And the more toxic the food is, more stinky the person is, and their elimination as well. And that's how you can even indicate how much toxic your body is, by how you stink when you go to toilet, and how you stink if you might be work for half an hour in the garden and you smell your armpits and you can say like, oh, I stink. Or people who eat a lot of toxins, they just work a little bit on the sun and they wet with sweat, fully like wet, this part on the back, under the armpits. We hardly sweat. And this is also part of cleanliness. I like what Mango said. Keeping clean yourself inside is more important than clean yourself outside. Because if you're not clean inside, doesn't matter what you do here. It's always wrong and your skin never's going to like it because you even don't know those things. You only need to have a clean body. And then you don't need to buy. Even now you don't need it if you eat everything. But you think you do because people who eat everything, they have an issue with their skins.
Yeah, we live in a world, I've said it before, my book's called Topsy-Turvy World, one of them, and we do live in a topsy-turvy world, and things that are opposite to what they're seeing nowadays. There are many, many people who are obsessed with what they believe is cleanliness. So they'll put all kinds of products on their body, all kinds of moisturizers and deodorants and shampoos and conditioners and all kinds of things that they let their body absorb that really the body shouldn't have any contact with at all. And that's not cleanliness, in our opinion. That's actually
filthy.
That's filthy what they're doing. And they'll look at people like us and think how dirty we are because we're not using any soaps. But the reverse is true. The reverse is true. And if you could look at the insides of those people, because not only do they not have a clue about how toxic the stuff is that they're putting on their bodies, they don't have a clue about how toxic everything is that they're putting inside too. If you could look at them internally, you would see that their bodies are like cesspits inside. Most people are walking around with so many toxins and so much waste in their body that shouldn't be there. They're not clean at all. There's the expression that cleanliness is next to godliness. And it's not talking about using chemicals on your body. That's not what it means. It's the inside and what's inside your mind. Having a clean mind, having a clean body inside. Of course, on the outside too, we take care of that. We don't want to leave ourselves being dirty all the time.
Of course.
But water is enough. Water is enough. Unless you're like a car mechanic and you're getting grease all over you. And I understand there are some people with professions that do mean that they have to use something or another to get off that. I mean, even us, if we're cutting up a jackfruit, which is mostly my job, I get this latex stickiness all over me and it won't come off with just water. So I use a bit of oil, just a bit of avocado oil, just a very tiny bit of it. I'll put a little bit in the palm of my hand and I'll really wipe my hands with that. It's not like I'm getting it all over my body, so I'm only using it on my hands. But you don't need anything other than that, really.
Yes. Also, I want to go back to hair and my hair. They're very fine. And I also observed throughout the years, doesn't matter what I do with them, they have a time when they look better, feel better, they have a more volume. And there is times when they don't look so good. But I don't worry about it because as everything else, the hair, you know, the season may change, depends on the humidity of the air. It depends how much time I spend on the sun. Actually, I stop putting them on the sun when I go in the garden now. I put my hair up and I put a scarf because I notice again with the age that the sun is taxing my hair, you know, making them more dry. So I put aloe vera sometimes. We have it here in the garden. You don't harm the plant. You just take the bottom leaf, or you can just take a part of the leaf. The rest of the leaf will live. And I just take a gel out and put it in my hair and then wash it out. And sometimes fruit juice, watermelon juice, what have you. But otherwise, this is very rare. Really, honestly, most of the time it's just water. And that's it. And for me, must be always cold water. If I wash my hair with warm, even hot water, they go like this, and they're so dry. It's just unbelievable, the reaction of my hair on the hot water. And so is the skin. The cooler water is better. For my hair, I have to have only cold water. For my skin, also best cold water. And after, if you have a hot shower or hot bath, also have in the end cold bath or cold shower. And that wakes you up. That's very good for your skin, for your blood circulation.
Yeah, very good, and especially after, if you have a cold shower and you get a towel and you kind of really rub yourself all over, it opens up the pores more. It's very, very good for you. Don't ever finish a hot bath by just getting out of it and rubbing down. Always have a cold shower afterwards. Even if it's in the winter, I mean, it may take a while for you to build up the courage and adjust of doing that, but you'll benefit from doing it. Definitely.
Yes, yes. Like I'm doing it since teenage age, and I can't imagine not do it anymore. That cold water wakes me up. It gives me really good energy, and I love that. So if you can train yourself, use as much cold water in your skin, you know, as well. That's one good point. It's the water that cleans things, not the product, some bubbles or whatever toxins they put inside. And also lemon juice is very good,
Lemon juice,
you know. But when I use lemon juice on my hair, they go really flat. I think that would be good for people who have a lot of hair and they get really bushy and stuff. I really think if they put lemon juice.
Any citrus juice actually will do it, but lemon juice particularly good.
Yeah. So that's the one thing I don't like when I use lemon juice, because it takes months before my hair after gets some volume, but otherwise I can see they like it.
And we've mentioned before in the previous video we did about soap that even if we wash our clothes, we just use water. We just use water because that's enough. And we don't really get our clothes that dirty. We'll get, especially me, I'm very messy when I eat. I get fruit all over me. But I get like fruit stains on me. But you don't need soaps for those things. And we just put them in the washing machine. We turn it on. There is hot water that comes in the washing machine.
But I used to always watch in the cold. This is Mango's thing. He's now operates the washing machine. But that's okay. You know, I have no problem with it. But I would always wash only in cold water, and I never have filthy clothes, you know. I have to wash with aloe vera that does the stains which you can't wash, you know, so we have few of those on some clothes, but otherwise it washes out. The fruit, it's have a name, like it stains everything, maybe some fruit. I don't know which one, I didn't experience yet fruit, including mulberries, which will not wash out from my clothes. If not on a first wash, maybe on a second, third wash, definitely. And sun, if you your garments in the sun, you know, and the air, that's also cleansing. That also cleans your laundry, it cleans your skin, it cleans your hair. But if the sun is too hot, it's in the middle of the day. And as I'm saying, the sun is more aggressive now. It's like burning almost. Like if you sit next to the fire, then we have to protect more our skin and our hair. It's not every day like that. It's very simple. This is the thing, you know, when I was young, I used makeup and so many cosmetics. I used every morning, like at least over half an hour to put it all on me and doing my hair with this curler thing, the electrical thing you put on and comb or how they call it. I was totally insane, but I was blessed to see very early in my age how sick it is. I actually once seen the lady without makeup, and somehow she really got my attention. She really caught my eye, and I said, she looks so much better compared to other ladies. She looked even younger. She has so youthful look, and I just can't really explain it properly, but
Well, it
it
definitely
really impressed me so much that since that day I stopped using makeup altogether. In Australia, if you go on the street, you don't see many women with makeup on. But in Europe, like at least when I come from, almost every woman have a makeup. They would not go out on the street without makeup, at least to a certain age. And some women who are really into it, they do it till they die. But I observing people. I love look at the people. I like the details and stuff. And one thing I observed, the makeup on a woman who is old and not well and have a lot of wrinkles, makeup on her looks disgusting, and makeup altogether look disgusting. You look so much better, the woman in their natural looks.
they don't realize that how they are slowly destroying their skin by applying this stuff on a daily basis. I mean, it is particularly women that have been targeted. Now men are starting to be targeted too with that kind of thing. And I mean, traditionally it's been mostly that men would shave off their beards and put aftershave on or put some deodorant on or something, but not much more than that. But now they're getting makeup for men and it's all kind of stuff. And it's just destroying skin. They're layering it on. Some people I know can spend like 1 or 2 hours before they even go outside applying layer after layer of whatever it is they put there. For me, when I watch somebody, I've observed people doing it on television before where they've put it on, and it's almost like they've got a neurotic tick. They're dabbing it everywhere. It's almost, it's a sickness. It really is a sickness because it's not helping them. And the same again, because they're toxic inside, they're having to put perfumes on their body as well, which are masking their body odors. And that's what deodorants and perfumes are all about, to mask the body odors, which are unnaturally unpleasant, or naturally unpleasant from the food they're eating. That's
because the food they're eating, it's not natural.
That's right.
So their odor is not natural. Yeah. It stinks.
Yeah.
We're not meant to stink.
No.
We actually smell beautiful if we are clean.
If we're clean, we do. And the whole idea too of cutting and grooming the hair the way people do is unnatural. I mean, I think there was a story from the Second World War where they recruited Native Americans as trackers because they were known to be good trackers, some of them, and they were recruited into the army to track people. I don't know under what circumstances exactly, but I know the story goes that the first thing they did when they recruited was they gave them a haircut, because in the army you've got to have a haircut. They've all got to look the same. So they cut their hair, and then afterwards these trackers found that they were no longer able to track, which is a curious thing really, and you might question it, but it's somehow or another the fact that they didn't have long hair anymore removed their ability, because tracking is not only about recognizing signs in the ground, there's also some sixth sense that comes in and helps you with it. And cutting their hair somehow or another stopped their ability to do that. And there's also of course the story of Samson in the Bible, who had his hair cut and lost his strength. I do think that there is some truth to these stories, because I think that it is very, very natural for us to be having long hair and long beards and just letting it grow. And it's all about taming us when we don't do that, because people are tamed, and they may think they're being rebellious if they do something or make their hair look a certain way,
Pink.
but they're actually fitting into the mold of being good consumers, that they're going out and buying products that they need to do that. And it's all about money. That's what all the cosmetic industry is about. That's what all the cleansing products are all about: money. They're about getting you to buy things that you don't need, because that's what big business is about: marketing, advertising.
Yes, and I noticed, because when I come newbie on YouTube, when I discovered the actual existence of it, which is not many years back, I start watching those young girls with the kids, because I love children. And I could not believe how much product, because they selling it, so they putting it on in the morning. They put like 10, at least 10 things on them. And then the makeup. This is just, whatever, the vitamins and this and who knows what. And I saw one girl, she put thing under the eyes, and it was flashing lights. It was like, it was totally sick, and some marketing again, like, how good is that supposed to be for the skin under her eyes? It's totally insane just to see it, what they're doing to themselves. Pretty young women in their early 20s, and they putting all that poison on them. This is what they mainly selling: the makeup, the cleaning products, and fashion. And this is what a lot of women are deeply brainwashed into. I'm woman, I was brainwashed as well. I started wearing makeup already when I was 15 years old, and I tell you why. As woman, I was suppressed. I was treated always as second citizen, and I was always told not very nice things, addressing my person. And I was never told by anybody, even by my partners in the past, no compliment towards my person, towards my look or anything. So I honestly believe I'm very ugly, and I want to look pretty. That's something what girls have. Maybe boys too, because my brother too, and he's not like gay, but he always, like, his look was very important, his clothes and his hair and everything. So I believe there is men like that too, but mainly women, we are like, naturally, for some reason, we feel like we want to be really pretty. And if you don't get that self-esteem into you, if you're being abused too much throughout your life, it's difficult to believe that. And that encourages women to do those things. Also, the movie stars and models, all those stars, they give an example to other girls how they should look like. And those girls, if they don't look like it, they feel also ugly, It's all like very sick, a war and big confusion, and it's so sad.
I remember as a little boy, I always used to get told off that when we had visitors come in, a woman who had perfume on her, and when they came in, I would say, "You stink," because I used to find the smell of these perfumes and deodorants or whatever they would use, I would find it really offensive. Even when I went to get haircuts, I mean, it was normal. Everybody got haircuts back there, normal. And the barber who would cut my hair, he would always want to spray something on me afterwards. And I would say, no, I'd object, because I found the smell from these sprays that he put on to be so bad that I couldn't breathe properly afterwards. So I always said, no, I don't want any of that stuff. But yeah, it's amazing how it's so normalized in society that people don't question it. They'll just go and buy all these things and think that they're in some ways doing themselves a favor by using them.
Yes.
But it's not true, not true.
It's very difficult to explain these people. They usually look at us like we are just a little bit insane, and reality is actually the insanity is on their side. They're spending a lot of money on those things, and it does stink, especially when you're not much around it. You really notice. Like I used to go on a beach in Sydney, and those sunscreens, it so stink. But I was mainly going in a weekday. There was nobody there. That was no problem. But on a weekend, sometimes my friends who didn't have a time otherwise invite me to meet at the beach. So I went, and I couldn't stand to stay there for very long when it's more crowds and everybody putting on constantly the sunscreens. And oh, those sprays people put on themselves, they breathing it in. It's everywhere, and you breathe, and even for a minute or something, it will be in the air there, hovering. Yeah, I really don't get it. As I said, I was doing it, but I could very quickly see how sick it is, and I stopped doing it.
Anyway, I think we've answered your question, so we'll round off for today. Thank you all for listening.
Yeah, if you forgot about some details, please let us know. Or you can ask the question if you have some about what you hear now and some additional question, we will note it. Also, go back to your questions. We gathered the questions, we lost the file. So if you feel we're not answering your question for a while, please tell us, write us again, repeat your question to us. We started noting it again. Of course, some of them we remembered. Anyway, till next time, all the best. Cultivate love in your heart. It's the most important thing you can have. Because in the end of the day, you can eat from golden plates and be miserable if you don't have a love in your life. And I heard from one very rich man who was also in a circle of the very rich people. And in one interview, he said, the most miserable people in my life I ever seen was rich people, like very rich. Money definitely don't make you happy. If you think you need another million to be happier, save your energy. And another thing, we read a great book. I will mention this book in the future for sure. And it was about a lady who looked after people who were on the way out on their deathbed. And the book is about what they most regretted on the end of their life. And you know what they most regretted? That they worked too much and they gathering money too much for no reason. This was one of the biggest regrets those people had. So think about what you're doing. Take care of yourself. Love everyone. Love yourself. Until next time, all the best. We love you. Bye.